the shooter. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes confirmed that while 2 guns were found on the scene, only one was used by 15-year-old Natalie Samantha Rupnow. But as to the motive,
determining a motive is often a complex and challenging process. There can be multiple factors at play, and it is critical that we approach this investigation with the utmost care and thoroughness. We owe it to the victims and survivors of this tragedy to get this right.
The updates from Chief Barnes come weeks before he takes over as Seattle's police chief. His last day is February 1st. President Biden speaking about the deadly wildfires in Southern California this afternoon. On Wednesday, Biden approved a federal major disaster declaration for Los Angeles County.
Today, I'm announcing that the federal government will cover 100% of the cost for 180 days. This is going to pay for things like debris and hazard material removal, temporary shelters, first responders' salaries, and all necessary measures to protect life and property.
At least 6 people have died as a result of the fires. A man who fled to avoid serving a 9-month prison sentence for storming the U.S. Capitol has been arrested in Canada. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Anthony Vo from Bloomington, Indiana, was arrested without any trouble in Whistler, British Columbia, say Canadian Border Patrol officials. He skipped out on a court order to report last June for his 9-month prison stint. A court transcript records Vo admitting that the January 6th riot was wrong, but since then, frequently on social media, Vo's criticized the judge and claimed he was wrongfully convicted and expects to be pardoned with other rioters by the next President Trump. Vo's detained and suspected of entering Canada illegally.
An energy emergency for Wisconsin. Governor Tony Evers signed the executive order to allow for the efficient delivery of heating and oil propane to residents across the state. The order provides a 30-day waiver of state and federal service hour restrictions so suppliers can get caught up from the weather-related delays. The declaration comes after persistent challenges to distribute heating fuel to homes because of several regional winter weather. Packers fans headed to Philadelphia for Sunday's game against the Eagles are invited to Bar and Grill, just miles from the stadium, for a pep rally Saturday night.
Go, go, Pack, go! Make no mistake, Kraft Hall in Philadelphia, site of Saturday's prep rally, is no Packers bar.
We're definitely a Philadelphia fan bar, and we're already decked out in Eagles decorations for the postseason.
Kelly Doherty is manager there, tells Wisconsin's Morning News Eagles fans will be mostly welcoming.
We definitely have a reputation, and I won't say that we aren't spirited fans. I would just try not to start an argument with any local Philadelphian in a bar.
Sounds like good advice. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Packers and Eagles kick off Sunday at 3:30. Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:03.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks dominated at Fiserv Forum in their 121-105 victory against the San Antonio Spurs Wednesday night. The Bucks are back in action Friday night in Orlando against the Magic. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Mostly clear on the roads. We did have a crash on 43 South at Highway 145 and Fond du Lac Avenue. Looks like that is now pulled over to the right shoulder. And time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight we have clouds rolling in, then a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle later tonight, a low of 22. On Friday, a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle early. We could see up to a half an inch possible and some flurries in the afternoon, a high of 30. On Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 27. Sunday, cloudy with snow showers likely. We could see some minor accumulation, a high of 27. On Monday, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 20. Right now in Madison, it's 28 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 25. In Waukesha, it's 25. And in Milwaukee, it's 29 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
How you doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Here with you till 8 o'clock. There'll be some fun topics tonight. You're going to meet the Wisconsin chef on Deal or No Deal Island. We'll also explore the creative side of President Jimmy Carter and maybe hear the story about how I saw him play softball once. Winter fun in Wisconsin includes ice skating, now that the temperatures are going to get up out of the teens a little bit this weekend, where you can lace up and glide in our state. Give you some suggestions. There's a big summer concert announcement for the Harley-Davidson Homecoming. I will update you on that entertainment news, and the song you need to hear is by one of July's headliners. We'll wish break a leg to the talented folks who will be on local stages, plus what's coming to big screens and streaming screens, and a look at the current status of our craft beer culture with a new brew with a Bucks connection and the expansion of Explorium. Explorium Brew Pub is going to evolve. So that is what we will cover today on What's on Tap. Obviously, want to talk a little bit about beer if the name of the show is What's on Tap. And I do have a quick arts update to share. News in Racine's cultural scene. The Racine Art Museum has a new executive director starting next week. And that's the first time in 5 decades. His name is Rob Wolf. He will take over leadership from Bruce Pepich. Bruce Pepich is retiring after 50 years at RAM. And Pepich is going to continue as a consultant for permanent collection projects throughout the spring before he officially retires. But congratulations to Rob Wolf. Here's to exciting exhibitions and projects ahead to continue the cultural institution that is the Racine Art Museum. And again, congratulations. Those golden years, Bruce Pepich retiring after 50 years in one job. That's just mind-blowing. And next, reality shows can sure be fun. You're watching people doing things that maybe you wouldn't do, or inspiring you to do adventurous things and do go outside your comfort zone. Deal or No Deal. You've probably seen the game show. It's where you choose the briefcases full of money, different numbers, and maybe you get a high amount of money inside that briefcase, and then do you hold on to it? Do you trade it around? That's the kind of game Deal or No Deal is. But it was done in a studio. Now they've moved it from a studio to an island. They did it for one season, and it was successful. So season 2 kicked off just a couple of days ago, and a chef from Eagle River, Wisconsin, Chef Luke Olenichek, made a heck of a memorable debut in the first episode of season 2 a few days ago. Find out how Chef Luke kept viewers on the edges of their seat and get to know him. Private Chef Luke of Deal or No Deal Island is my guest next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
What are the impacts of just the constantly escalating housing costs in this market and all other markets?
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
This has real effects on real people's lives. People's rents go up every year. People can't find an affordable starter home. People can't downsize. We need to change something.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Sometimes you have one of those days, but usually one of those days is not with everybody watching you. From Eagle River, Wisconsin, we got to see private chef Luke Olenichek on TV on Deal or No Deal Island, the season 2 premiere a couple nights ago, which is now streaming on Peacock. You can catch up because Chef Luke, he was bold, he was daring, but he did not make a lot of great moves. First off, Luke ziplined down to his red briefcase over the water. He didn't even wait to see who took the high-value cases. So that was a little hasty decision. Then he used his steel to take Rock Carlson's $450,000 suitcase, even though it was guaranteed to be less than all the other higher-value cases. So maybe not the best strategic decision. But finally, after being put up against the banker, Luke declined a $218,000 offer from the banker, even though he had pretty good odds of winning that deal. And then it got all the way down to the $1 briefcase, which has never happened before. So Chef Luke made Deal or No Deal Island history, and the host is Joe Manganiello. You'd recognize him, and he said, quote, "It was the worst game of No Deal Island ever played, but it was entertaining." And Chef Luke said at one point on screen, "Everybody makes stupid mistakes. Mine just happened to be on camera." Now that you know what happened on the show with our Wisconsin contestant, let's hear from him. Welcome to What's on Tap, Chef Luke Olenichek. How are you?
I am good, eh? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely my pleasure. How does it feel to be part of reality show history in your Deal or No Deal Island experience?
It's okay. I mean, I'm probably a part of the history that I didn't want to have, having the worst deal on Deal or No Deal Island history. But hey, at least we'll be remembered for something, right?
That's what I was going to say. You know, how many contestants were there? Like 14?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there was a good batch of us.
So see, not everyone's going to be remembered, and you are.
Absolutely. $1 Luke. I'll embrace it for sure.
Is that your new nickname now?
Yeah. I've been tagged that a little bit. But you know what? It's my bet. I'll lay in it. We'll just embrace it. At this point, all you can do is own it. Obviously, there was some mistakes. More so in the excursion than Temple. I'd let it ride again in Temple anyways. It's obviously I had a really good deal on the table I could have taken, but I thought, you know what? I'm rolling with case 7. That's the case I picked in honor of my father. Let's see how it unfolds.
How does that number relate to your dad?
Yeah, so actually my father is a huge Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and he loves Nick Saban. The head coach, he's excellence. He's excellence to a T. And Nick Saban won 7 national championships. 6 with Alabama and 1 with LSU. So I thought, you know what, number 7's our number. I had that case picked out months before I even got onto the Bankers Island. I knew that was going to be my case well before Temple.
So see, I like that explanation because I feel like a lot of us have our sentimental numbers, whether we're playing the lottery or in your case on Deal or No Deal Island. I mean, I characterize you as an eager participant, and you really were entertaining. And so describe really what it felt like in those minutes on the island, even though you had number 7 chosen as that one briefcase. But making those banker and briefcase decisions, what did it feel like in those minutes in real time?
You know, it really wouldn't be as pressured as you think it would be. You just got to focus. Even some of the case selections, I kind of had a sentimental attachment with each case. It just kind of came to me. So, you know what? One of the things I was told by my father before, if you can't tell, Dad's a pretty big part of my life. So is my mother. But before I got on the jet, I was walking away and Dad stopped me and he said, "Luke, I don't care what you win. Just go have fun, buddy." And that's exactly what I did. On camera, it looks like I was a little reckless. To a point I was. But you know what, Sandy? I had fun.
And you gave fun to other people. Is your dad proud of you?
Yeah, we watched the premiere together. I made sure I was in my childhood home watching it with Mom and Dad. And while, of course, he was proud, he loved the sentiments I dropped. There was a couple times he looked across the living room at me like, "Luke, what in the heck are you doing, bud?" But you know what? It is what it is.
But you gave joy to people. This is great. And you really help people understand just how difficult it can be, whether you do the negotiations and the alliances and just that pressure of being in there. And we see just a few minutes. How long was that entire banker briefcase process?
Oh, gosh. To be honest with you, it was hours. It was hours long. So, yeah, it was pretty intense. I was on the hot seat for a while. But you know what? That's the big thing, Sandy. You kind of captured a thought of mine right there. You know, the one thing guaranteed when I was in Temple is I could be remembered for something and I could bring some joy to some households. Some people could say, "Wow, if this goof can make it on the show and have fun, I guess anybody can." And if I did that, you know what? Mission accomplished. That money was never mine to begin with. So I didn't have any feeling of entitlement. Again, we just had fun.
That is a good approach, and that's a great thought. That heck, that money was never mine. I can't really be missing it. But boy, wouldn't it have been nice instead of just $1? Do you get to keep your $1? Are you going to frame it like they do at a bar or a restaurant?
Yeah. So as a matter of fact, if you watch the show, that story might come together a little bit better for you later in the show. That's all I can say. I might even be in trouble for saying that. But you know what? We'll give a hot take on your radio show here.
Well, good. It gives us a reason to keep watching Deal or No Deal Island because it really is entertaining. And we'll find out how Chef Luke wound up on Deal or No Deal Island and find out some of his culinary specialties next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
The news you need to know.
Some breaking news. A 4K student dies after being struck by a bus.
Happening now, investigators are looking into the deadly New Year's Day attack in the French Quarter of New Orleans. At least 15 people were killed, dozens more were hurt.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
I don't really take a lot of stock in some reviews, but when it comes to restaurants, I do.
Well, here's the Macedonia getting off the bottom here in 2025.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Maxx with WTMJ, and from me and my friends at Three Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman, Happy New Year. And now that you're past the holiday celebrations and maybe thinking back about the get-togethers, did you connect or did you kind of observe maybe some differences physically and mentally in some of your loved ones? Well, if you're noticing those changes and you want to start a conversation about maybe the next step, transitioning into a caring, top-rated environment like Three Pillars offers, Three Pillars has resources. When you go to their website, threepillars.org, you will find helpful tips for starting those conversations and other free educational programs to support you, support your family as you're talking about those transitions. Go to threepillars.org or you can call Three Pillars 800-848-5306.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
We know what you're thinking, and all we can tell you is to drive careful.
Yep, Wisconsin roads are no joke this time of year, especially when you're driving on old, worn-out tires.
Schedule yourself a tire appointment with Richlands. We carry all sorts of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, Continental, and General, to name a few.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free tire mounting, free lifetime tire rotation, free flat tire repairs, and free alignment inspections.
Not to mention free wheel corrosion cleaning, lifetime warranty spin balance, and prorated tire protection.
Let's just say if you're driving around town, especially this time of year on old, worn-out tires, you're due for tire service.
Courtney's right. And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires, because cold, wet, icy roads are no joke. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Talking with Chef Luke Olenichek from Eagle River, Wisconsin, who you just saw on Deal or No Deal Island on the first episode, making some history, going home with $1 whole. Whose idea was it for you to be on Deal or No Deal Island?
Yeah, it certainly wasn't mine, Sandy. As a matter of fact, I had no interest in ever doing anything like this. As a matter of fact, this came about last year. I was casted to be on Gordon Ramsay's Next Level Chef over in Ireland, a talent associate with one of the NBC, I believe, was looking for contestants. They found me. They said, "You want to throw your hat in the ring?" I said, "Sure."
How did they find you, considering you're up in Eagle River, Wisconsin, whipping up food? How did you get discovered?
You know, it's the power of social media. I'm not really good at it, but I do have a private Chef Luke on Instagram. They find you. They will find you. There's people, their jobs are literally just to go on the internet and find, juicy stories. My story as a private chef is I'm self-trained. I don't have some elaborate fancy pedigree. I'm just a mutt that made it into the dog show. And I guess they liked that. So I was accepted to be on that show. I actually declined the offer because I had a bunch of dinner parties that I signed up to do. A couple of dinner parties did not want to give up their dates. And you know what? You have to be true to your word. As you know, Sandy, from Wisconsin, your word means something here. So I passed up that opportunity. The casting agent said, "Well, hey, we'll get you on another show." I thought, yeah, whatever. That's not going to happen. Well, March, I get a call, and, it just kind of fruited into what you saw last night.
That is wild to know that you being you genuinely on Instagram was the way to be discovered and led to this opportunity. And what attention are you getting now in your hometown in Eagle River and from social media around the world? Because you can use this attention to your advantage now that you know that it can work.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this, Sandy. The people in the Midwest, more importantly Wisconsin, are such beautiful people. I mean, let's be honest. I had an absolute dumpster fire of an outing, really.
It's better if you say it than if I say it, but sure. But again, it's entertainment, and that is why people watch reality shows and game shows. It's that pressure and that drama.
Yes.
How are you stretching your dumpster fire into delightful opportunities?
Well, what I was going to say is just the people in the community and people from Wisconsin have been so kind. I'm getting reached out to people I don't even know, just saying, hey, hard luck, but hey, better luck next time, and just a lot of well wishes. And that just really speaks to the people of Wisconsin, yeah. And overall the Midwest. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful culture. So everything's still pretty fresh. I don't know what opportunities are going to arise from this. But I just thought it was important to say God bless all of you that have reached out. I haven't gotten all the messages, but I will answer every single one that hit my inbox.
Aw, that's very sweet. Are you interested in being part of a reality TV show again if it comes your way?
Sandy, I don't know. Let's be honest. I'm not very good at them, am I? But I think I better just stick to the hunting, fishing, and more importantly, the thing that pays my bills, the cooking. I'll keep that door slightly cracked open, but I think my reality TV career is done.
That was a reality check, being on reality TV. I get it. Did you watch Top Chef last season in Wisconsin?
Yeah. It looked like something that I'd enjoy doing, but again, it takes a lot of time. People don't understand how much time is invested to be on these shows. It takes an enormous amount of time, enormous amount of energy, and at the end of the day, family and friends are important to me, and that just takes me away from them. So it would have to be a pretty lucrative deal for me to go back. And you know what? Maybe it's someone else's turn to get on a horse, and I don't want to rob someone else of that opportunity.
Tell us about your chef business in the Eagle River area. What is your cooking specialty?
Yeah, my specialty, let's be honest, Sandy, I'm up in the north, so it's going to be wild game and steakhouse-inspired platings. The steakhouse-inspired platings are mainly really fine beef steaks, prime ribs, things of that nature. I come by that honestly. I had 10 years of butchering under my belt, so I got a real intimate knowledge of learning cuts, where they come from, simple preparations, and I just kind of built upon that. But also, wild game is such a wonderful resource up here in the north. It would almost be sacrilegious not to know how to cook it if you consider yourself a chef. But I love red meat as a whole, venison, beef steaks, things of that nature. I'm going to tell you right now, there's more talented chefs than I, so I need to pick my lane, and I do like 10 different platings, and those are my hills to die on. They will be some of the best platings you've ever had, these 10 options. But I tell you what, Sandy, if you ask me to come over and make a Thai dinner for you, guess what? You and I are looking it up on the computer because I'm not really sure where to start. I guess just don't be all things to all people, right?
That sounds wise. Tell me one of your very favorite dishes to plate right now.
I love leaving people with food memories, and if I had to pick two, one would be a table-side tomahawk. It's a dry-aged tomahawk. I smoke it, and then I finish it table-side. I paint it with a beautiful compound butter, torch it for a nice crust, carve it in front of the clients, and oh, by the way, all those drippings from the butter and the steak itself drip onto potatoes, fingerling potatoes, asparagus. It's beautiful. If you ever heard the term "the sizzle sells the steak," well, we have that and a little bit of showmanship right by the table. Beyond that, I would pick one more, maybe my balsamic berry venison. It's like a venison medallion served on a bed of Wisconsin wild rice, and then it's dressed in a balsamic berry sauce and topped with blue cheese, and that's a really composed plating. And I just love what I do. It gives me a chance to connect with people through food.
Chef Luke Olenichek from Eagle River. I wish you great success in the year ahead. You are so much fun. If somebody got inspired by your mouth-watering descriptions, how do we find out how to book you to come be a private chef in our home?
PrivateChefLuke.com, or you can find me on Instagram, Private Chef Luke or Sandy. This is going to be hard to believe. You could go on Facebook and look up Private Chef Luke.
Hey, if the producers of Deal or No Deal Island could find you, we can find you too.
God bless you, Sandy. Watch out for deer.
How fun to talk with Chef Luke. And I'm telling you, if you want to laugh, maybe with him and at him, but it is high entertainment to watch Chef Luke make the decisions that he makes on Deal or No Deal Island. The most recent episode is streaming now on Peacock. What a fun fella. I want to circle back with him. I bet he's got some great grilling tips too. Check back in with him in springtime and summertime. Stay with me here on What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx. We'll learn about President Carter's creative side. Where to ice skate in Wisconsin this weekend now that the teens are going to warm up a little bit. And big concert news today with a couple of headliners for Harley-Davidson's homecoming announced. So stay with me here on What's on Tap. Right now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Sandy. The manhunt ends for an accused murderer. 47-year-old Virgil Thu was arrested without incident a little after noon today in the city of Elroy. The arrest made after police received a call of a suspicious individual. Thu faces 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide in the deaths of his girlfriend, 33-year-old Elizabeth Kolba, and 2 girls ages 12 and 13 at home in New Lisbon on December 30th. Charged with scamming an elderly Waukesha woman out of thousands of dollars. Junshi Leong faces a felony count of money laundering after prosecutors say he misled the woman by pretending to work for Waukesha State Bank. The 84-year-old victim had an account, and he instructed her to reach out to her portfolio manager and withdraw $200,000. Leong was arrested during a sting operation last January when the victim was giving what appeared to be gold bars to him. Health officials across Wisconsin are recommending that homeowners test their homes for radon. Radon is an odorless, colorless, radioactive gas that is naturally present in the ground and can enter buildings through their foundations. State data shows between 40 and 50% of homes tested in southeast Wisconsin have elevated airborne concentrations on the main living level, where people spend most of their time. Radon exposure is the second leading cause of lung cancer. January is an ideal time to test your home's radon levels when homes are closed up for the winter. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. Mostly clear on the roads at this point this evening. Only a bit of a slowdown lingering on 94 eastbound. That's between 70th and the Stadium interchange. And taking a look at the WTMJ forecast, tonight we'll see clouds rolling in, a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle later tonight to low of 22. Friday, a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle, then we'll see afternoon flurries, a high of 30. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 27. Sunday, cloudy with snow showers likely. We could see some accumulation, a high of 27. On Monday, mostly cloudy skies, a high of 20. Right now in Madison, it's 28 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 25. In Waukesha, it's 25. And in Milwaukee, it's 28 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:32.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list.
But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. again.
What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree.
What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
I am Sandy Maxx, and thank you for joining me. What's on Tap? Sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And today, a somber day as President Jimmy Carter laid to rest. Big service in his honor, eulogies, and celebrations of all kinds, including music performed. It's been a very profound day and a lot of reflections on a lot of different things that President Jimmy Carter achieved throughout his 100-year lifespan. And I can't say I have a personal connection to Jimmy Carter, but I did get to see him in person when I was a little kid. My parents and I were on a road trip, and we were driving through Georgia in the 1970s, and my dad was always interested in politics, so it isn't really that surprising that we would have rolled through Plains, Georgia at that time, out of curiosity and just out of respect and interest. So guess who was playing an afternoon softball game with his family and friends? Sitting President Jimmy Carter. And my parents and I, we sat in the bleachers, just on the other side of the chain link fence, right behind home plate, just like you'd root for any softball league team. And I'm really glad I remember it, even though I was little, because I do remember my parents were like, this is really important. You normally get this close to a president. And now think about it. There's no way that with security and that sort of thing, that would happen now. So it really was a special time. And somewhere we have a photo of Jimmy Carter at the plate. I will have to uncover that somewhere. But my parents were cool and casual. We didn't ask for autographs or anything. And another funny thing I'm remembering, Billy Carter was Jimmy Carter's brother. And he was playing. And remember Billy Beer? My dad bought a 6-pack at one point, and that lived in our refrigerator untouched for years. And I covet that. Somebody somewhere along the line must have talked him out of getting rid of it. I know he and I didn't drink it together, but boy, would I get a kick out of looking at that 6-pack now. But on the creative side of Jimmy Carter, interesting that he was a music fan. He wasn't a musician, but he was a big music fan, and he loved music. He hosted musicians when he was in the White House. Jazz, gospel, country, and in today's ceremony, you saw Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood singing Imagine by John Lennon, and that wasn't by happenchance. That was by the request of Jimmy Carter. But Jimmy Carter was a woodworker, which is a great craft and an excellent skill to have. And I guess if you think about it, he was a peanut farmer. He was fixing stuff on the farm and objects. And one of my favorite stories is that Jimmy Carter and his new wife, Rosalind, when they moved into the Navy apartment, they chose an unfurnished one to save money because he could make the furniture. That's how good of a woodworker he was. And of course, he worked with Habitat for Humanity. Jimmy Carter, also a painter. He was an oil painter. He painted portraits, including self-portraits, natural landscapes. He got into painting birds when he and Rosalind got into bird watching. They're on display throughout the Carter Center. They're also on display in other people's homes because Jimmy Carter figured out that auctioning off his artwork was a great way to raise funds for his humanitarian projects and efforts. So also a painter, and I leave you with this. He's also an author. I think you know that. He wrote over 30 books over his lifetime. He even wrote a memoir when he was 90. So you can look up his books. He also wrote a historical fiction novel called The Hornet's Nest, set in the Revolutionary War. And what touched me was he wrote a book of poetry in 1995, and it's the only collection of poetry published by a U.S. president during their lifetime. It's called Always a Reckoning and Other Poems. And Jimmy Carter enjoyed doing art because he said it was one of the few things he could do to kind of reclaim his privacy. He could have solitude and really kind of process thoughts and emotions. And there are 44 poems in 4 categories: people, places, politics, and private lives, in Always a Reckoning and Other Poems. And I thought about reading a poem to you, but it's not in his voice, obviously. But I think if you're curious, look that up and revisit some of the writings of Jimmy Carter. Winter Fun we aren't going to get big snow for a while. At least that's what the predictions are. But it's been so cold. We got enough ice at local rinks, even the outdoor ones. And where do you like to ice skate? Let me know on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Love to know your suggestions. I have some ice skating suggestions around Wisconsin. That's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal, to do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
But a lot can change when someone new moves into the neighborhood.
A new neighbor invited Michael Ziegler and his family to dinner, served on the floor. It gave Michael a new perspective on how things changed when Jesus moved into our neighborhood to dwell among us and invite us to his heavenly banquet. Hear Dr. Ziegler's message this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Well done. Working with producer Matt Yazel tonight on What's on Tap. I'm Sandy Maxx, and ice, the safe kind. I'm going to tell you about some good rinks to skate on. I'm not suggesting ponds. I'm not suggesting lakes. Not at this point on January 9th, when we haven't had, even though this has been a cold stretch, we do not have safe enough to skate on those surfaces, I don't think. But Milwaukee, Madison, Kenosha, Waterford, Eau Claire, Lake Geneva, Delavan, Williams Bay, and Walworth County, all places that I have found that you can skate outdoors, sometimes even for free. So let me make some suggestions, rattle through the list. If you have some suggestions in the next couple minutes, Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620, or as you continue to listen, I might be able to work that into the show. Slice of Ice at Red Arrow Park, right downtown. The spacious rink. You realize that rink in Red Arrow Park is larger than Rockefeller Centers in New York City. Free skating with rentals available. Of course, you got the coffee shop nearby. You can warm up. Slice of Ice in Milwaukee's Red Arrow Park downtown. Edgewater Ice Rink in Madison, 4,000 square feet. at the Edgewater Hotel. You could see the Wisconsin State Capitol and Lake Mendota. Kenosha downtown at Veterans Memorial Park, they have a 32 by 60-foot outdoor rink. And in the evening, you can skate in downtown Kenosha, enjoy the sights of the lights. Waterford's 10 Club Park is an outdoor ice skating rink hosted by the Waterford Area Lions Club. And in Eau Claire, you have many. You got about 4 different options for ice skating. In Eau Claire, you can ice skate Pinehurst Park, where they even have general skating and a boarded hockey rink, along with sledding, skiing, and snowboarding. Boyd Park in Eau Claire, they've got a general skating rink with a warming shelter. Putnam Heights Elementary Rink, general skating rink and more boarded hockey there with a warming shelter and some other indoor activities there at Putnam Heights Elementary. And another place to ice skate outdoors in Eau Claire is Roosevelt Elementary Rink, where they've got another boarded hockey rink. Reminds me of my parents spent a lot of time in Michigan during their courtship, so they were doing a lot of pond hockey. So I like that boarded hockey rink. The hockey's in my blood. Lake Geneva area, Grand Geneva's Resort Ice Rink. They've got ice skating and sledding with some on-site rentals. And in Fontana nearby, the Abbey Resort Harbor Patio Ice Rink. They've got $2 rentals, and they've got a fire pit next to the rink. But I got to think that fire pit isn't too close. That's in Fontana. In Delavan, Lake Lawn Resort Ice Rink. They've got a free rink. You can rent skates for just $5 to lace it up. And in Walworth County, Williams Bay Lions Park Rink, which sounds like fun. Free skating on the tennis courts converted into ice rinks there, and concessions available there at Williams Bay. And outdoor ice skating, I like the feel of it. And it is funny kind of how, I guess now that I think about it, it's kind of meditative, just kind of skating around and around and breathing in the fresh air. That's a good feeling. But again, encouraging you to hit the outdoor or indoor ice rinks, just because even in the WTMJ news recently, we heard about the rescue of a skater, and that is scary. We want everybody to be safe. And from ice skating to July, when we're putting ice in coolers and hanging out outside, well, the outdoor concert, Harley-Davidson's Homecoming in July, just announced the headliners today. I will tell you who they are, plus play a song by one of the country stars next on What's on Tap. There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Maxx of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson. Live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis only at the Fireside Theater.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
Music fans, just announced today Harley Homecoming 2025 headliners Chris Stapleton and Hank Williams Jr. Rowdy country music star Hank Williams Jr. is going to headline the HD Homecoming Friday, July 11th at Veterans Park. Saturday, July 12th, Chris Stapleton headlining HD Homecoming. Chris Stapleton, 10-time Grammy, 19-time CMA, and 19-time ACM Award winner. He is one of country music's most respected and beloved musicians. Tickets go on sale Friday, January 17th at hdhomecoming.com. And Chris Stapleton has a whiskey brand. It's called Traveler Whiskey. And funny enough, Traveler Whiskey was one of the sponsors of HD Homecoming last year. And this Chris Stapleton song has over 1 billion streams on Spotify. It's his song, Tennessee Whiskey. It's the song you need to hear on What's on Tap to get you ready for HD Homecoming 2025.
Used to spend my nights out in ballroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back. Far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. And you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee Whiskey, sung by Chris Stapleton. His cover of that David Allan Coe song, 1 billion streams on Spotify. Chris Stapleton on stage at HD Homecoming, Harley-Davidson's big festival in July on the lakefront at Milwaukee's Veterans Park. 2 headliners announced just today. Chris Stapleton, Saturday, July 12th, and Friday, July 11th, rowdy country music star Hank Williams Jr. And if you're interested in getting tickets or making your plans or letting your friends know who are interested in coming in town, July 10th through the 13th for the big Harley-Davidson celebration of music and motorcycle culture, hdhomecoming.com is the website. I'm Sandy Maxx. Thanks for hanging out with me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Coming up, we will wish break a leg to some of the folks hitting the stages around Wisconsin. And also, what's on your screens? Tell you next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your 4th quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
James Imaging Systems, local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything, so I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 28 degrees. Tonight we'll see clouds rolling in, a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle later, a low of 22. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. More details from the scene of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting in Madison. Police Chief Sean Barnes confirming that 21 shell casings and 2 guns were found in the investigation, but 15-year-old Natalie Samantha Rupnow only used 1 gun in the December shooting. They are still determining where the guns were purchased. Chief Barnes outlines what police are reviewing to determine the motive.
The suspect was very active online and on social media. We're currently looking at her online activity to better understand why this attack happened.
2 people died in the shooting, 14-year-old Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old teacher Erin Michelle West. 6 people were injured, and the 2 students who are still in the hospital have been upgraded to fair condition. In the Slender Man case, a judge grants conditional release for Morgan Geyser. Geyser was 12 years old when she and Anissa Wire lured their friend 12-year-old Peyton Leitner into a Wisconsin woodland before stabbing her and leaving her for dead in 2014. Leitner survived. Defense attorney Anthony Cotton arguing Geyser has cooperated with every step of treatment.
Went through a battery of treatment, antipsychotic medication for years, and has been willing to participate and has participated in every interview and evaluation that's taken place.
Next, the state must complete a conditional release plan regarding where Geyser will live and her medications and future treatment. Officials in Los Angeles County say at least a dozen suspected looters have been arrested in evacuated neighborhoods affected by wildfires. The National Guard has been called in to help secure communities. Authorities are hoping to enforce an overnight curfew in the fire zones as soon as tonight. The largest fire, the Eaton Fire, has grown to more than 13,000 acres and remains 0% contained. Officials now say 4,000 to 5,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed. CBS News learning the man who was shot and killed by police in Kannapolis, North Carolina last weekend was the same man who believed the Pizzagate conspiracy theory and was arrested in Washington, D.C. 8 years ago. CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
Edgar Welch traveled to the nation's capital in 2016, determined to find a child sex ring he had read about online that he believed was operating in the back room of a pizza restaurant. He terrorized customers at the restaurant with a loaded AR-15 and revolver. No one was injured. Saturday night, he was in the passenger seat of a vehicle when an officer pulled it over. Police say when the officer opened the passenger door, Welch pulled a handgun from his jacket and pointed it at him. Welch was shot when he repeatedly refused orders to drop the gun. He died Monday at a hospital. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
Cases of norovirus are on the rise in Wisconsin, especially as the cold weather leads to us spending more time indoors.
Norovirus is nothing new, but a new strain is introducing a new response from the bodies of those affected. Dr. Ben Weston of the Medical College of Wisconsin.
Our body just isn't used to it. A lot of people have had norovirus in the past or had these other sort of GI illnesses that give you some level of immunity. But just like we've heard with COVID or flu, as the new strains come out, it's introducing something new.
And it spreads rapidly.
Especially in places like schools, long-term care facilities, hospitals.
Dr. Weston recommends practicing excellent hygiene and frequent hand washing with soap and water. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
And Dr. Western reminds us all that alcohol-based sanitizers are not effective in killing the virus. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:04.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With colder weather in the forecast and no festivals to attend, our showroom is a year-round festival the whole family will enjoy. Read our reviews. Our store has it all, including the finest lighting and ceiling fans available, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Tech, and hundreds more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's best in thrift. So to all who voted for us, thank you. And to those who haven't yet been here, there are so many items to explore. And at thrift store prices, you can find a really great deal. At the same time, you'll be helping us help others, sometimes folks right in your own neighborhood. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks dominated at Fiserv Forum in their 121-105 victory against the San Antonio Spurs last night. The Bucks are back in action tomorrow night in Orlando against the Magic. Packers quarterback Jordan Love was officially a full participant at Packers practice, according to head coach Matt LaFleur.
Footwork, the timing of the plays, being on the same page with the receivers, obviously your fundamentals, throwing the ball, make sure everything's on point. So there's a lot of things that play into that, but it comes down to just being locked into the details.
Love working to dial in the Packers' passing attack that will be without Christian Watson on Sunday against the Eagles. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. All clear on the roads, no major incidents, no delays. And taking a look at the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight we have cloudy skies with a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle later tonight, a low of 22. On Friday, that chance for light snow and freezing drizzle still around in the morning. We could see up to a half an inch, and then we'll see some flurries towards the evening, a high of 30. On Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 27. Sunday, cloudy with snow showers likely. We could see some accumulation, a high of 27. On Monday, mostly cloudy, a high of 20. Right now in Madison, it's 28 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 25. In Waukesha, it's 25. And in Milwaukee, it's 28 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
How you doing? I am Sandy Maxx. Thanks for joining me for the second hour of What's on Tap. And coming up, join me to wish break a leg to the talented folks who will be on local stages, plus what's coming to big screens and streaming screens starting today and through the weekend, and a look at the current status of our craft beer culture. We've heard about, my heart broke when I heard about a couple of our favorite craft breweries closing. City Lights Brewing, also Enlightened Brewing, but there are sparks of hope in our beer community here, and we're going to find out about a new brew with a Bucks connection, and about the expansion of Explorium Brewpub into a hospitality group and how they're now connected with Good City Brewing. So we'll look at the craft beer culture at about 7:30. But first, I want to take a moment to share with you, because I'm seeing it on the huge monitors here in the WTMJ studio, just my ongoing shock of just how tragic the wildfire situation is in California. The words devastating and terrifying continue to keep coming up in descriptions, not just on the news, but also in my friendship circle. And I was just listening to Jessica Gatso in that last WTMJ newscast, 4,000 to 5,000 structures destroyed. And that's stores, it's daycares, of course, it's homes. And on Tuesday night, when this first was, I was just seeing when it was just one fire, but it was still shocking. And especially it was just north of Venice Beach, and I have friends who live in Santa Monica, and I'd been in, last time I was in LA was a couple of Novembers ago, and had a great time reconnecting with like 24 friends of mine. So I was like, I don't really know the neighborhoods that well. If you say Runyon Canyon, I don't know that. If somebody says I live in the valley or the I just don't know all that. So I just reached out to a bunch of friends on Tuesday just to touch base and see how they were doing. And several of them either said they were fine, but they were connecting friends to help evacuate. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty serious. Or they had lost power. Some friends of mine lost a tree that had blown down, because remember these winds like 100 miles an hour. And so then now a couple of days later, I haven't heard from some of my friends, and I'm guessing that's mostly like power outages. But just this afternoon, one of my friends that I checked in with on Tuesday evening, she's a really accomplished college pal in the music industry, has a home in Los Angeles, and she texted me this afternoon saying, hey, here's the update. I've been out of town, because that's what she first said, hey, I'm in Texas, so I'm not there. But she was one of the people helping her friends connect to evacuate safely. She checked in this afternoon. She's still in Texas, out of town, but she's learned that her car and her home are gone. They're destroyed, which is just so surreal to me. Like, what are you going home to? And, what are all these flurries of texts and phone calls of, hey, can you check in on my house and how I'm doing while I'm out of town? So that's just jarring to me. And then another artist friend of mine who's here in Milwaukee has a friend who's an artist, grew up in northern Wisconsin, lived in Milwaukee for several years. And this artist moved to L.A. around 2018 and works consistently, photography, set design. And her name is Sunny Mills. And one of her local friends here posted last night on Instagram that Sunny lost everything yesterday. Her fires burned her home in Altadena. Now, Sunny was able to evacuate. She had her 2 cats and a backpack of what essentials, But think about that. Memories, photos, clothing, and Sunny's work as an artist and her cameras and her computer just gone. And I know we know, but just how to register. But I guess I personalize that and like, what would I do? And those things are irreplaceable. So, and then even if your house doesn't burn down, hopefully you're still displaced because you evacuated. So who are you staying with and how are you making those arrangements? And you don't know how long you have to be gone. It's just such upheaval. So the fires aren't finished yet. One of the latest CBS special reports that I got in my email was that the winds have subsided a bit, allowing firefighters in Southern California to try to gain control of these wildfires. And we'll keep you posted on ways you can help and ways that you can certainly, I was just going to say, make sure you double check that your well-intended donations are going to credible organizations and credible people. American Red Cross and Salvation Army seem to be the best ways right now to help with resources to help people there. But it's just so sobering and it's just so surreal because I think a lot of us know people there. And if you know someone who is helping in California, I'd love to know. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com. I'll see if I can follow up on the story for here on What's on Tap or in the WTMJ newsroom. But I'm going to keep reaching out to my creative circle of people who are here in Milwaukee who have connections out in Los Angeles County and vice versa, just to hopefully bring some hope to this story as well, because the recovery is going to be very impactful. So moving on, speaking of creative people, what's on stage this weekend? Join me in wishing break a leg to talented people here in Wisconsin next on What's on Tap.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Wanted to get you some information on the shooting suspect in that United Healthcare CEO shooting that took place in New York.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Charged with murder as an act of terrorism. Kind of bizarre when I saw that.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi!
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. Sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Oh, that thumping sound from the world's greatest showman. It is time to wish break a leg to those who will be on stage here in the Wisconsin area this weekend. Some local performers, some national performers coming to grace our stages. And we'll start with comedy because we could use a laugh, I think. It's been an interesting year so far. So if you dig comedy, then let's wish break a leg to comedian Josh Johnson. He became a correspondent on The Daily Show just last year, and he'd been a writer there since 2017. Josh Johnson will be at the Barrymore Theater in Madison tomorrow night. And also wish break a leg to Michael Costa, comedian who has also been part of The Daily Show, and he was supposed to be in Milwaukee during the Republican National Convention, but Comedy Central canceled all of their festivities. So Michael Costa back in Wisconsin this weekend, Friday and Saturday, at the Comedy Club on State in Madison. And if you can't make it to Madison, he will be in Milwaukee June 7th at Vivarium. So Michael Costa bringing the comedy Friday and Saturday in Madison at the Comedy Club on State. Now moving to music on the stages around town. Alternative rock. Break a leg to the band members of Silver Sun Pickups and Laura Jane Grace and Eve Six opening on that show tomorrow night in Madison at the Sylvie. And I got to tell you, this is one of those fun shows that you can sing along to. Wishing a great big break a leg to all the members of Hairball. Hairball's Silver Anniversary Tour. This is one of those rock and roll tribute bands that they play all kinds of arena rock that you can just totally have fun. They have 2 stops in Wisconsin, one tomorrow in Eau Claire at the Pablo Center at the Confluence, and then Saturday night, Hairball will rock the Riverside Theater in Milwaukee. So have a great time at Hairball if you go. I don't think you can't have a bad time at a Hairball show. Also, bluegrass music. Wish and break a leg to the band Armchair Boogie. They will be playing on stage at the River Arts Center in Prairie du Sac on Saturday night, January 11th. Armchair Boogie and more alternative rock. Break a leg to Big Head Todd and the Monsters. Sunday night, Pabst Theater. Matt Yazel found Bittersweet. My favorite Big Head Todd and the Monsters song. So, you know how some bands take you right back to someplace? I worked at WXRT in Chicago in the 90s, and this is just one of those bands that just takes me right there. Big Head Todd and the Monsters. That is Sunday night, Pabst Theater. And also break a leg to the Gristle Man himself, Greg Koch, guitar genius and Whammy Hall of Famer. He's going to be performing Sunday at the High Noon Saloon in Madison. And prepare to be amazed by a really big man with big talent on guitar when you see Greg Koch. And then on stage, it's a last call. Lumberjacks in Love, wishing a great big break a leg to the cast and crew of Lumberjacks in Love. This is closing weekend. Last show is a Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock at the Stackner Cabaret at Milwaukee Repertory Theater. And if you haven't heard, Lumberjacks in Love already sounds entertaining, doesn't it? It says, big laughs meet unexpected romance in Wisconsin's North Woods. It's from the same creators who created Guys on Ice, if you've heard of that. This is a musical, takes us to the North Woods in 1912, where a camp of burly lumberjacks revel in their bachelor lives as the only men in hundreds of miles, until a special delivery named Rose shows up and flips their lives around like a flapjack. I think it could be a lot of fun. If you want to see Lumberjacks in Love, this is your last call, closing weekend for Lumberjacks in Love at the Stackner Cabaret at the Milwaukee Repertory Theater. And one more show to wish a great big break a leg to. It's their opening weekend. Break a leg to the cast and crew of The Nether. It's a Renaissance Theater Works production at Next Act Theater. The preview is tomorrow night, and this is their official opening weekend on Sunday. It's a new imaginative play about the effects of AI, both good and bad. It's a very thought-provoking production, and I got a preview yesterday from Renaissance Theater Works artistic director Susan Fate, and you can hear that podcast at the What's on Tap podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, or WTMJ.com, because it's fascinating to me that The Nether explores AI, and Renaissance Theater Works is known for developing new plays, so I thought for sure this was something that had been workshopped in the past couple years. No, this is a play that was written about 8 years ago, before we got constantly bombarded by AI and these thoughts. So really interesting play by Jennifer Haley, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward. I might even go to the preview tomorrow night. I'm so curious about this. But if you want to hear more about it, again, look up that podcast, which was just last night on What's on Tap. Or you know what I can do? I can text you the link to the podcast to your smartphone. If you text the word TAP TAP. Text TAP to the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. And we'll get you caught up on that episode of What's on Tap and the others on the podcast. So break a leg to everyone. Go support your local theaters and local venues. That is what's on stage. What's on your screen? If you want to go to the cinema or stay snugly on the couch, those screen suggestions next on What's on Tap.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for your weekend. Hang out with me for a little bit on Experience Wisconsin. It's at 1 o'clock every Saturday. We will spin around the state, check in with some of the cool places and people that make Wisconsin such a fun place to live. This week on the show, it's going to be pretty cool. It's Elkhart Lakes Road America and Hayward Lakes. It's fun. It's informative. It's a lot of great stuff. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ. Won't you join us? It's Experience Wisconsin.
We know what you're thinking, and all we can tell you is to drive careful.
Yep, Wisconsin roads are no joke this time of year, especially when you're driving on old, worn-out tires.
Schedule yourself a tire appointment with Richlands. We carry all sorts of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, Continental, and General, to name a few.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free tire mounting, free lifetime tire rotation, free flat tire repairs, and free alignment inspections.
Not to mention free wheel corrosion cleaning, lifetime warranty spin balance, and prorated tire protection.
Let's just say, if you're driving around town, especially this time of year on old, worn-out tires, you're due for tire service.
Courtney's right. And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires, because cold, wet, icy roads are no joke. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
If you're looking to build or remodel, then check out the 2025 Metropolitan Builders Association Home Building and Remodeling Show, presented by Nuns, January 10th through the 12th at State Fair Park. Learn about the latest home building and remodeling trends from over 150 MBA industry experts. For more information and tickets, visit mbahomeshow.com. If building and remodeling is on your to-do list in 2025, then don't miss the MBA Home Building and Remodeling Show this weekend at State Fair Park.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
What is new on the big screen and on the smaller at-home screen or on your phone screen? Here are some new releases to look for starting today. Actually, tomorrow. The Last Showgirl. That is the movie that maybe you were like, wait, I haven't heard of that at all. It was nominated for a Golden Globe Award. It is Pamela Anderson re-emerging into the entertainment world, and I guess impressively so. It got a Golden Globe nomination and also a SAG Awards nomination, and it's a movie directed by Gia Coppola of the Coppola family. Pamela Anderson stars as Shelley Gardner, a veteran showgirl facing life changes after her long-running show closes, and drama ensues. But also, you know who else is in this movie, The Last Showgirl, is Jamie Lee Curtis and also Billy Lord. And I'm very curious because Pamela Anderson's getting a ton of praise, and her performance is being called raw and emotional. So if you're interested on that, The Last Showgirl opening in theaters tomorrow. But I think if you sniff around, you can find a screening even tonight if you're interested. Also opening at the movie theaters this weekend, Better Man, which, believe it or not, has a monkey in it. It's a musical biopic. If you've heard the singer-songwriter Robbie Williams, an Englishman who I enjoy, but had an interesting journey from being in a boy band and kind of a troublemaker, well, this is a musical biopic about Robbie Williams and exploring his journey to fame. But curiously, instead of having humans tell the story, it's told with him dressed as a monkey, but it's not Robbie Williams. It's a different actor. So it still sounds interesting to me. At least it's not the same old thing. Like sometimes Hollywood gets criticized for rehashing the same old ideas. This is definitely a different twist on telling the story of your life story. It's Better Man about Robbie Williams, and also coming out in the theaters this weekend, Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. It's a sequel to the 2018 movie. It was a big thriller heist. Gerard Butler is Big Nick, and this film continues the story of Big Nick going after Donnie, who has fled to Europe and is planning another major heist. So action film Den of Thieves 2, Pantera is coming out on the big screens. So instead, though, what about the screen you can hold in your hand or watch while you're cozied up on the couch? There are some fun things that are streaming. Well, I think this one is fun. The Traitors Season 3. I'm a big Alan Cumming fan, and he's a Scotsman, and you've seen him on PBS introducing Masterpiece Mystery, and I'm sure you've seen him in a lot of other things. He's a very versatile actor on stage and on screen, but he is this host of The Traitors. It's a murder mystery competition show that is very highly rated, and it's as accomplished as Alan Cumming is. I think he's only won 2 Emmys for this show, The Traitors. He's won 2 Tony Awards, but this is the show that has won him an Emmy. So Alan Cumming welcomes a bunch of reality show stars, I think it's like a dozen, to this Scottish castle, and they have this murder mystery competition show where there are traitors, and I don't necessarily know the rules of the game, but you know how reality shows are. The rules tend to change anyway. But I know that Tom Sandoval from the Bravo TV series Vanderpump Rules, who was certainly cast as a villain in Vanderpump Rules. Tom Sandoval is in it, and Dorinda Medley, who is in Real Housewives of New York. Those are 2 of the reality stars that I recognize, but there's some other colorful characters. So if The Traitors sounds fun, Season 3, it will start streaming tonight at 8 o'clock on Peacock. Another streamer is called The Pit. Noah Weil, who used to be on ER. I haven't heard his name in a long time, and maybe I've just been missing out. This is called The Pit, spelled like Brad Pitt, P-I-T-T, a medical procedural series featuring Noah Weil as an experienced doctor. So we know he knows how to play that. An experienced doctor navigating the challenges of a 15-hour shift, which I think that's pretty typical in the medical field, which has always been a challenge to me, or like challenging in my mind. But The Pit premieres on Maxx tonight. If you want to see Noah Weil back in the role of a doctor, but this time working overtime. And then the other thing to stream that I think my friend Annie Schwartz, law enforcement expert and author who you hear her on WTMJ, a police drama called On Call. And I don't know how it's different from some of the other police shows, but On Call is a police drama offering a realistic perspective through body cam footage and providing an immersive experience into law enforcement. And that starts streaming tonight on Prime Video, if On Call sounds interesting to you. So streaming at home, The Traitors Season 3, The Pit, and On Call, and at the movie theater where you can eat popcorn and have a communal experience, The Last Showgirl, Better Man, and Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. I am Sandy Maxx. You've got it on What's on Tap, and I think it's really important to dig into some microbrew news, craft beer news. So in the next half hour, you're going to find out about a brand new beer that's a collaboration between Broken Bat Brewery and the Milwaukee Bucks. Ooh, I'm curious myself. So you'll find out about this Green Light beer collaboration. And then also, we're going to check in with The Upswing, where Jeff Sherman hosts weekdays at 10 o'clock. And he looks at the business headlines and business side of things here in Milwaukee. And he had a really in-depth interview with Explorium Brewpub's Mike Doble about that next evolution of Explorium acquiring Good City Brewing. And is that good news or not? So we'll talk craft beer next on What's on Tap. But right now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Sandy. The manhunt ends for an accused murderer. 47-year-old Virgil Thu was arrested without incident a little after noon today in the city of Elroy. The arrest made after police received a call of a suspicious individual. Thu faces 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide in the deaths of his girlfriend, 33-year-old Elizabeth Kolba, and 2 girls ages 12 and 13 at a home in New Lisbon on December 30th. An energy emergency for Wisconsin. Governor Tony Evers signed the executive order to allow for the efficient delivery of heating oil and propane to residents across the state. The order provides a 30-day waiver of state and federal service hour restrictions so suppliers can get caught up from the weather-related delays. Health officials across Wisconsin are recommending homeowners test their homes for radon. Radon is an odorless, colorless, radioactive gas that's naturally present in the ground. It can enter buildings through their foundations. The state data shows between 40 and 50% of homes tested in southeast Wisconsin have elevated airborne concentrations on the main living level. Radon exposure is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. All clear on the roads this evening. No major incidents and no delays. And time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll see clouds rolling in, then a chance for light snow and freezing drizzle, a low of 22. On Friday, that chance for light snow and freezing drizzle still around in the morning. We could see up to half an inch. We'll see flurries in the afternoon, a high of 30. On Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 27. Sunday, cloudy with snow showers likely. We could see some minor accumulation, a high of 27. On Monday, mostly cloudy, another high of 20. Right now in Madison, it's 28 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 24. In Waukesha, it's 25. And in Milwaukee, it's 28 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Good look at a three again. A.J. Green, another bullseye. Back-to-back bombs The Dairy Bird striking from distance.
We are your home for Milwaukee Bucks basketball, and we are now your home to cluing you in when Milwaukee Bucks basketball has a brand new beer. And producer Matt Yazel, who's with me tonight, you actually work at a craft brewery.
Yes, I do. Broken Bat Brewery, the finest beer in the city.
Ah, there you go. They've trained you well.
Yep.
And but you were one of the first people to share with us here at WTMJ what they had brewing, literally, at Broken Bat. And because, why did you play that AJ Green highlight for us?
Broken Bat Brewery is collaborating with Mr. AJ Green, the Dairy Bird, on a custom beer called Green Light. It's a cream ale, and he will also be at the brewery next Saturday to celebrate for a beer release party.
And we need some good craft beer news because
Yes, we do.
with the start of the year, we saw some of our favorites closing down, like City Lights and Enlightened. And I want this info. I don't want this to be the end of an era, so it is good to know that Broken Bat Brewery is finding these kind of partnerships to continue to evolve. And great news is we have all the details for you because Wisconsin's Midday News, Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik were able to have Tim Pauly from Broken Bat Brewing in. So here are the details if you want to get in on Green Light.
Broken Bat Brewing in Milwaukee is out with a cool new beer. It's called Green Light, a beer inspired by Bucks guard AJ Green. How does a local brewery team up with a Buck? Well, let's find out. Tim Pauly, owner and president of Broken Bat Brewing, joins us live in the studio. This is so cool. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
So how did you decide to team up with AJ Green?
Honestly, it was a random email back in early September from one of his player reps, and I'm always hesitant. You never know if it's like a catfish opportunity or something like that when a cool opportunity sounds too good to be true. But, sure as the day is long, we got talking and started throwing ideas off the wall. And by October, we were like, let's do a custom beer. And AJ was all on board. And we looked at the calendar, and January 18th stuck out right away. And we're almost there.
That is amazing. You said this goes back to September. So Green was on the team, but he's sort of become a different and more impactful player for the Bucks this year. He's got his own nickname, the Dairy Bird. He's knocking down three-pointers at a percentage higher than most people in the NBA. It's been a great season for him so far. He's kind of an understated guy on the team last year. Maybe people didn't remember that. So talk about being ahead of the game here, right? I mean, he's really launched into a nice, solid role here for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, as they say, shoot or shoot. So we kind of took our shot with him, and his excitement around it and his team's excitement really made us excited, and put a ton of effort into it. And speaking of his three-point percentage, we actually made the beer 4.8% to match his 48% three-point shooting percentage at the time. So,
that's cool.
Kind of a fun Easter egg, and we threw in some font graphics around northern Iowa where he went to school, and we really made it top to bottom completely customized. And yeah, AJ's just super good dude and super good shooter, and we're happy he's got a role in the Bucks.
So you really made it customized. How much impact did he actually have with the beer?
Oh, a lot. He gave us lists of beers that he likes and him and his wife enjoy. And we took that. I took that back to Nick, our head brewer, and was like, look, let's throw this all into a pot, make something close. And we decided on a cream ale, nice and light, easy drinking, no bite, a beer that you drink during a Bucks game. And he gave us the quote-unquote green light, and here we are.
So there is a picture of Green hoisting a three-pointer on the can. I notice I don't see the word Bucks on that. So that you said his people reached out to you. His people are not the Bucks. So where do the Bucks come into play on making sure this all goes through?
Yeah, we just made sure to follow, some of the trademark laws out there and make sure, we took off identical uniform looks and any big brands that might have been in that. And our graphic designer is extremely talented, as you can tell. But, when we got the Players Association from the NBA on board and the Bucks on board, and we're getting emails that this is a really cool opportunity for him, again, it just makes us feel like made the right choice and working with the right guy, and nice to have support from some pretty big brands in the national arena with the Bucks and Players Association.
As we talk about that, my mind kind of gets going into the beers that they sell during the Bucks games. I'm sure that's not easy to get into Fiserv. But is that something that could be coming down the road?
I will say that we are efforting at the moment, but a lot of red tape. It's big business over there at Fiserv and AmFam and Lambeau. Those are huge establishments, and As I was told a few months ago, money talks. when we try to get a few things moving, but we are efforting to potentially have a few opportunities to sell at the stadium this year.
So at your tap house, which is so much fun, your tap house is amazing, right? A multi-level space, great event space if you want to have a party there. You got the wiffle ball field. Remember that? It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're true to your name, Broken Bat, in this wonderful space you have near the 3rd Ward. Is it available on tap and in cans at your location? If people want to come in and buy a 4-pack ticket with them, can they do that kind of stuff?
Yep. So starting on the 18th, next Saturday. So about 10 days from now, we're going to have it in cans only. So we think the can is so sharp, that's kind of our marketing tool around it.
Okay.
But we're going to be releasing it that day, and then AJ is going to be on site from 7 to 9 p.m. Truly just a man of the people. So he's going to be hanging out, serving some beers across the bar, taking some pictures, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's starting on Saturday the 18th.
Can he be drinking the beer there at that party? Sometimes I wonder. Okay, with the Bucks, do they want that? But it's his beer. I feel like he's got to pop one can, right?
I mean, he's an adult, and it's between it's between a couple home games, so we'll see. But yeah, he's a super good dude, and he's also given us kind of the freedom to market it, and we've talked about kind of a responsible drinking message around it too. He wanted to make sure that was part of the program, so we want to continuously talk about that and make sure that people are enjoying responsibly. But yeah, being a close neighbor to us downtown and being, again, as excited as he is about it, I would imagine he'll probably pop one that night.
Well, always a fun place to hang out. I was there for Jeff Levering's 40th birthday.
Yeah,
We've done some company events with Good Karma Brands over there, too, and have popped in with my wife just to grab a beer on a day we were headed to Fiserv. So we always have a great time, great beer, great vibes. Appreciate you coming in, too. This is very cool. So available January 18th at Broken Bat Brewery. It's a Green Light Cream Ale, 4.8% ABV. We'll see if AJ can get his 3-point percentage up.
Get it back up there.
You should scale it, right? If he gets to 50%, you might need a new offering.
We'll redo it. If he gets above 50, we'll redo it.
Well, there you go. Tim, thank you for coming in. Tim Pauly's the owner and president of Broken Bat Brewing. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Fun interview on Wisconsin's Midday News with Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik. Learning all about a brand new beer to get excited about. And that event is next Saturday at Broken Bat Brewery. Can raise a can with AJ Green. From a new beer to a new evolution for Explorium Brew Pub. That news is next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
When your pipes burst, water heater's leaking, drains backing up, or whatever your plumbing problem is, the reliable plumbers at Quality are on hand 24/7 to fix your plumbing problem with fully stocked vehicles and lightning fast response times. This is Anthony Zanevsky. Call Quality first and get the signature service you deserve to fix your plumbing problem ASAP.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. I don't have to tell you that a lot of dust and other junk collects in your ductwork. And it doesn't just sit there. It's blowing around in your home. And that jeopardizes your home health. The commercial industrial duct cleaning system we use at Quality darn near sucked the shirt right off our tech the first time he used it. Believe me, not everybody has this powerful of a system. It's unlike any other. At Quality, you get the best duct cleaning, period. So call Quality first for your duct cleaning needs.
For the signature service you deserve.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
How you doing? I am Sandy Maxx, and even though I'm doing dry January, I expect at some point I'll be sipping a beer that doesn't have an NA in front of it. I'm not minding it so far, but there's been some news in our microbrewery world that I wanted to share with you here on WTMJ's What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And you just heard the good news about Green Light, the beer that is a new beer brewed by Broken Bat Brewery in collaboration with Milwaukee Bucks player A.J. Green. Now we get some more good news on our local brewing scene. This is a highlight of a conversation on WTMJ's The Upswing with Jeff Sherman. Explorium Brewpub is evolving after acquiring Good City Brewing. And we find out in this chat what that means for both of these local beer businesses.
We're talking with Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group. I keep wanting to say Explorium Brew Pub. It's
and that's
still
fine.
that, too. But I want to talk about the big picture.
It's bigger, yeah. It's
so what are your plans for the Good City brand itself? Does it eventually sunset, or...
Yeah,
other
eventually we will sunset the Good City brand on the side of buildings and whatnot.
Okay.
It looks more and more that some of the favorite beers that are in the market will live on.
Okay.
And we will produce them under license. So the same guy, Dane, that is the head brewer at the Farwell Brewery on the east side, he's going to continue making those beers. So we're talking to Beechwood as the distributor.
Okay.
And we've been talking to Beechwood about, hey, what's their appetite for us to continue? And they really want to see those beers continue. And so does obviously, Dan and David. It's their brand, right. And they put a lot of love and care into it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have a lot of respect for the brand, and we're happy to do it. So it looks more and more that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But as far as the operating locations go, we did not buy the brand.
Okay.
There is a sunset sometime in the future that will hit. And, and the reality is craft beers change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And, even at the Explorium Brew Pub, which is soon to have its third location in Wauwatosa, so that Good City Wauwatosa and Mayfair collection is going to get rebranded.
Right. Okay.
So there'll be 3 Explorium Brew Pubs. But even there, and even at Explorium at Southridge and in the Third Ward, we've had to continually pivot and respond to the desires of the customer base.
Your company will be taking over. If you've been to a Bucks game or Marquette game, you've been to Fiserv, you've been to Deer District, that big Good City brewing structure.
Yes.
An entertainment venue, an event venue, a really large, unique space.
It is.
So you have the fun opportunity of moving in there, maybe reimagining it. How do you plan to tackle that location?
Well, first of all, we're not going to do a whole lot until the Bucks season's over.
Okay.
That space is intensely busy during the Bucks season, and as is the whole Deer District, and it's really great. They've done a really nice job of getting people there and having that be the landing point before going to games.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It actually works out really well. The space is large. There's an amazing event space in there, which is really pretty cool.
Yeah, on that second floor.
Yeah, and we're very good at selling events. We do have a smaller space in the Good City space right now.
Okay.
So I think what you're going to see is that space reimagined and be a little less focused on such a broad range menu. Right now, the broad range brew pub menu is in there. I think you're going to see it par down. They have a very successful Mexican kitchen concept that they're working over there, and that has a lot of legs.
Okay.
And so one of our goals is to make that space busy all year.
And you are now some of the first to know these plans, thanks to The Upswing with Jeff Sherman. Talking with Mike Doble of Explorium Hospitality about the collaboration and community we have here of craft breweries. And I'm so glad that we have Jeff Sherman to kind of get in depth on this, because I think a lot of us heard the news at the beginning of the year of some of our Milwaukee craft breweries shutting down, which is just, it makes us all sad. But are there too many craft beers in our Wisconsin scene? That is the question that Jeff poses next to Mike Doble. We'll get his answer next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
The correct response from an elected official is to, one, calm and reassure your community, and two, understand that you are not driving the investigation. That's not a city, in my case, function. It's a law enforcement public safety function.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
Don't throw your comments in that it's due to some illegal migrant, as they called them, causing havoc in New Orleans. That's just not the case.
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richlands Tire and Service Centers.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. Sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
And talking about our craft beer culture and industry here in our Milwaukee area. And there were several, I won't say several, but at least a couple craft breweries closed just last week. So what do we have to look forward to? Are there too many craft breweries in our area? Well, that was the question that the Upswing's Jeff Sherman posed to Mike Doble of Explorium Brew Pub. Here's part of that conversation.
I asked Mike to stay for a couple more minutes because I wanted to hit on this whole... There's definitely the perception that the craft beer space is saturated. There's too many in the market. How many actually are there when you look from Milwaukee to Racine? How many are there? And then what are your opportunities there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it always hurts our heart when our friends go out of business, right?
Yeah.
And, these other craft brewers, they put their heart and soul into their brewery just like I do. But, to keep things in perspective, between, Kenosha to Mequon to Oconomowoc, we have 44 craft breweries in southeast Wisconsin. There's still a lot of breweries to satisfy your thirst. And what people have to remember that it is, and I think that fresh and local and natural is something that speaks to everybody's heart. We like to go to farmers markets. We like to know who our farmer is, and we like to buy fresh and local. And that's what craft beer is all about. And people need to remember that. There's a lot of fuzzy lines being created by, big national brands. And, your local craft brewer is doing it fresh. He's doing it naturally. And they're doing a really great job, and there's still a lot of opportunity. There are some challenges. I mean, there's headwinds in the industry right now. We are losing a little bit of market share. NAs we talked a little bit about that's cutting in a little bit. But and I think the real challenge for craft breweries is not to become too oversaturated in the market. Find your neighborhood, speak to your neighborhood, and make sure you're providing something your neighborhood wants. And, if people want craft breweries and they want cool local places and they want fresh, natural beer in their grocery store, then support your small local craft brewery. Simple as that.
Community and commerce, that's what we do on the Upswing. That's what it's all about. Mike, I appreciate your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of the week, and
My pleasure.
We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Jeff.
Join Jeff Sherman at 10 o'clock. Weekday mornings here on WTMJ for the Upswing for insights on Wisconsin businesses of all kinds. Now, did that conversation make you feel optimistic? I certainly hope so. And we got a text from Peter on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Peter texted in, St. Francis Brewery is reopening soon under new ownership. It closed in 2019 after operating for about 10 years, and they had intended to expand next door, but then they suddenly closed. So it'll be back operating. St. Francis Brewery, something to keep an eye on in just the next, hopefully, couple of weeks or couple of months. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sandy Maxx. What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. It is truly a pleasure to spend time with you. And please listen and subscribe to the podcast so that way you never miss out on stories about culture and creativity right here in Wisconsin. Thanks so much for listening. Stay warm. WTMJ News is next.